You read the title, you know what this is about. So a little while ago, I saw a video by a certain Caroline Winkler, and it changed me. Immediately after watching this video, I developed a great insatisfaction with many of the areas of my apartment. I started noticing areas that were kind of a mess, kind of disorganized, kind of all over the place, and I wanted to do something about it. So today we're going to apply as many of the principles from You're Doing Home Organization Wrong to make this home organized right. Unfortunately, this is not like The Sims. We cannot simply approach a problem, be all like, "Susu of office now, garbanzo," and then poof, the problem is fixed. No, it does not work that way. There's three main things that we gotta do before we start organizing. Some foundations, if you will. Donating/selling, tidying/cleaning, and surveying. We're gonna get into that right now. So the first thing we wanna do before we start organizing anything in our space is to sell or donate as much shit as we can. Now the principle at work here is letting go of the guilt of letting go. Whatever it is, take some time to kind of reflect, see why you're keeping all the things, and try to move past that. Try to figure that shit out. I'm not your therapist, but you know, it's something you could talk about with them if you have one. I've recently discovered Facebook Marketplace, and by that I mean I've recently started using Facebook Marketplace. Of course I knew that Facebook Marketplace existed. I don't live under a fucking rock. And yeah, it's just been wonderful. Like, I have this spreadsheet with all the things that I'm selling or that I've sold, and I find it really motivating to see that dollar amount go up. It is not accounted for in any budget. It's wonderful. I highly recommend it. Just donate everything. Donate everything you own. Give it away. Give it away. Give it to me. The next thing we gotta do is clean and tidy, and this is personally not my favorite step. This maps pretty exactly to the principle of purging. I don't think we need to explain what purging means. The idea here is just to make a blank canvas, to see the areas that need rethinking versus the ones that just, you know, need cleaning. Anyway, this step is pretty straightforward. Just clean the fuck out of your space and clean up your language. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder right now. Alright, next step, surveying. You are on a mission. You're going to put on your insatisfaction binoculars and you're going to look around your space for anything that you can classify as clutter. Do this over the next couple days. You're also paying attention to day-to-day tasks that are kind of a hassle. You are in a mindset where you are looking for things to improve. You are looking for problems. I want you to compile a list. I want you to take photos. I want you to take measurements. You're going to need them later. It's worth mentioning again, do this over several days. All right, after an eternity of planning, I think we are finally ready to start organizing. I really wanted to hide the Wi-Fi boxes because they're kind of ugly and don't really work with any sort of decor. The principle at work here is closed storage, and it's pretty straightforward. It really is as the name implies. So I got this the other day. It's called Smara, and we're gonna use it to hide the Wi-Fi router. We are already running into problems because this wire is not long enough. There's no way it's gonna fit up here. Okay, no. You just really want to eat the wires, don't you? Power goes into this box, then more wires go through this. Modem has wires too that get protected in this bag. And everything is super dusty. There's a lot of engineering in this just to get Capitaine not to chew on things. No thoughts. Get a cat. If your life is boring, get a cat. We're gonna use these shears and we're gonna cut a hole into this. We ran into a bit of a problem, a little kerfuffle, because he fits and therefore he sits. Ugh. Okay, bye. All right, it's a new day, we have a new outfit, we have a new breakout from an unknown skincare product, we have a new foot of snow, and we have a staggering lack of sleep from some lower back pain due to an injury that happened months ago. Love it. Love to see it. Let's do this. So yeah, a little update. After filming the last video, in fact, the day after filming the last clip of the last video, I slipped a disc while doing squats with my coach. Not heavy squats, very light squats, a warm-up even. The next few pieces of organizing all have one thing in common: baskets. The principles at work here are drop zones and subdividing. So drop zone's pretty self-explanatory. It's a zone in which you drop things. Instead of having clutter all over your house, you contain it. And the subdividing principle is also pretty self-explanatory. You take things and you subdivide them into smaller chunks of things. One of the biggest problems in my home, and maybe in yours too, is where to put all of the mail. So my solution was to get this very cute copper wire basket and to put all of my mail in that. So far it's been a game changer for me, and I have a lot less clutter in my apartment. I use the same basket trick in the kitchen in order to store my onions and potatoes and garlic, except with a little bit of a bigger basket. I also super glued little silicone feet to the bottom just so it wouldn't scratch whatever surface it was on and to make sure it's completely level. Another problem area is my kitchen storage. This one in particular has a whole bunch of lids all over the place, and I feel like it's pretty easy to just put those together. Same thing with the plastic funnels. They're always flying all over the place, so just one little basket contained. One thing that I found a little bit more tricky is these glass butter and yogurt jars. They are really great for storing all sorts of things, but they were taking up a lot of space and falling all over the place. I had to do a lot of measuring, counting, figuring out how many I needed, and also just figuring out how to stack them in a way that they wouldn't like break or fall all over the place. I've been using this delivery box as a storage for some of Capitaine's toys for quite a while, and I don't know, it just looks like a random box lying there. You'll find lots of different solutions at the dollar store. This one's okay. This one I think is good. As for underneath the kitchen sink, I just have cleaning products all over the place, and I always find myself kind of fishing in and trying to grab things and feel with my hands. I feel like just grouping different elements is gonna make a big difference here. People value different amounts of aesthetic versus functional home decor. And it's interesting to kind of pinpoint where you might fall on that spectrum. If you're someone who values what's visual and you live with someone who's very functional, that's somewhere where your design choices might clash a little bit. But at least if you understand those differences, then you have a vocabulary to talk about it and then be like, hey babe, this humidifier is fucking ugly. I recognize that we need to humidify the air. Can we get this cute one instead? Problem solved. I've just solved your relationship. The scuff marks on the walls of my apartment have been low-key bothering me since I moved in, and today is going to be the day that we finally do something about it. The principle at work here is magic eraser, which is pretty self-explanatory. You buy a magic eraser and you erase things with it. However, it doesn't work for paint that has been chipped off. The magic of the magic eraser only goes so far. I'm a little nervous because I've never actually painted in this apartment, but I have my drop sheet, I have my roller. I think we're ready to kick it. My goal is to attempt to not get paint anywhere. I don't know how realistic that is, but I'm gonna try. Okay, here goes nothing. We're putting paint on this. Anyway, oh yeah. Okay, this is actually going okay. Now we're just gonna like smooth it out and just like kind of feather around the edges. We gotta make it a bit of a gradient. I have this fear that the paint that I'm using is like far too bright for the wall and that it's gonna show like a huge blob once it dries. That might happen, but we'll cross that bridge if we get to it. Some areas that definitely should have been sanded. All right, this is a lot better, and from the looks of it, I don't have any paint on myself. Will we be doing a second coat? No, we will not be doing a second coat. Painting is done. Whew. And as you can see by the darkness, nightfall is approaching. It's 3 p.m. So it turns out I accidentally picked out the glossy paint, and this happened, but I don't want to repaint it again. So let's find out if using sandpaper on glossy paint makes it matte. Is this correct? No, it's not. Yeah, so it doesn't work. All it does is make the texture of the wall more apparent, which is not what we were going for at all. No. I'm not fixing this though. Check whether or not your walls are matte or glossy before you get paint. I'm really determined to find a solution to my shiny wall problem, but yeah, it's not happening in this video. I've been experimenting with a new thing style-wise. I got these green Gymshark tights, and now I'm trying to figure out what to pair it with. So far I'm going for the big, oversized things. I have to say, wearing stretchy yoga pants is incredibly comfortable. Also, let's be real, it makes your ass look great. Who doesn't want that? This boy, who does not want to be on camera right now, has a whole cupboard of stuff behind me right here, and it used to be a huge mess until I put everything in these little individual plastic bins that I got at the dollar store. There's one for treats, there's one for wet food, there's one for costumes, one for toys. It just made such a big difference to be able to find everything really quickly, especially since most of the things related to pet care are daily or almost daily. What are you doing, Capitaine? Let's try and get this thing. The principle at work here is subdividing, and I feel like anybody who has pets can probably nailed this one pretty well. Okay, you wanna play with this? Okay. Okay, let's go. It's time to play with this. This camera setup feels very biblical. Alright, this section is corral your shit. The principle at work here is corralling, which is the action of taking lots of things and grouping them together to make them feel like it's less things. One general rule you can make while corralling is make groups of 3. For some reason, people really like the number 3 or drawn to it. You don't have to make groups of 3, but it's a good place to start, and you can like kind of rearrange and move things around from there. All right, let's get into it. Plants. So right now it's winter time, so I have a lot more plants indoors than usual. So here's one example where the plants were a little bit spread out on this windowsill, and I just kind of grouped them together so it feels like one thing instead of a lot of little plants all over the place. Next is the dining room table, which had a lot of fall decor kind of all over the place, kind of disjointed. And I went back to that number 3 with one vase, one tall candle holder, and one larger, rounder one. I'm also on the lookout for a vase that's not made of glass because I think it will look better here. Capitaine was also being Capitaine during this process, so like, yeah. Next is this bathroom shower nook. So my intention with the bathroom is to make it as much of a spa experience as possible. So I got these glass bottles on Amazon in a big pack, and I got the pump heads on AliExpress for like something like $4 each. This next one, these bathroom candles, might feel a little bit extra, but by bringing them closer together, it creates more of a cohesive group rather than just being like, I'm filling the space. You know, some of you might be a little annoyed that the brown candle is not in the middle, but that was intentional, and I love it. This is actually a tip that I picked up from Caroline as well. It's not really something I would have thought of before. It's the idea of doing something a little unexpected just to make a little, you know, dramatic tension. Next is an example of corralling that was done before this video, but I feel like it's a good example anyway. So this is my living room bookshelf, and you'll notice that the books are all kind of grouped together. If things weren't grouped together, it would feel very, very chaotic, and it might already feel chaotic to some. Another example of corralling that I was already doing is my pots and pans setup. So obviously the pots and pans are all grouped together, and visually this works because it's one entity, but if they were all over the kitchen, it would feel very messy. Capitaine, I'm filming a shot. This is why you probably don't want a glass table if you have a cat. Thank you, Capitaine, for this very timely demonstration. He really is like a paid actor, like. Alright, I talked about this in my last video. I felt like this cupboard shelf thing behind me was getting pretty cluttered and wanted to do something about that. The principle that we're working with here is closed storage. So before I had a whole bunch of like papers and stationery in one of these boxes, just out in the open, just chilling. And I also had all of my kind of like semi-dirty clothes, you know, like the shirt that you wore for like 5 minutes or a pair of pants that you wore once. I had that in like a basket on the floor next to the hamper permanently, and it was always kind of full. So I found these brand-ass wicker baskets from IKEA on Marketplace. I like how they match my laundry basket, but I also think they're pretty neutral and could go with pretty much anything. The next thing we're organizing today is this tiny closet behind me. So we have a lot of principles at work here. This tiny closet is doing a lot of heavy lifting. So maximizing weird spaces means finding the places in your living space that are kind of kooky. They're a little weird. There's usually an opportunity to make this super functional, super fun, super cozy, whatever it is. For the tiered Lazy Susan principle, and I'm getting very sick of saying the word principle, take a shot every time I say the word principle. Ideally, you want one of the spinny Lazy Susans so you can easily reach the things in the back, but it really depends on like the shape of the storage space that you're trying to optimize. For active versus passive zones, this one's probably a game changer for your day-to-day. It's about putting the things that you use the most in the easiest to reach places. I'll admit that this tiny closet is not that weird. The amount of weirdo spaces in here is next to nothing. This is as weird as it gets. So before, this tiny closet had a lot of wasted vertical space. There's not a lot of shelves, and the space between them is fucking huge. On top of that, the way I was organizing things in there was not ideal. There were a lot of items I would only get to maybe like once or twice a year that were just front and center. So to fix this, I got some metal shelf risers from IKEA, and I was very selective about what would stay in the most central tiny closet in the apartment. So you'll notice that the middle shelf, one of the easiest ones to reach, has a lot of random crap in it, seemingly random. I have my small toolbox with all the most frequently used tools in it. I have my candles, which I use all the time. And I have the 3 most common types of tape that I might use for like random stuff around the apartment. Yeah, I feel a little tense today. Like I feel like I'm trying to be funny. Welcome to the bathroom. This is hopefully one of the most high traffic areas of your home and thus rife for disruption. So my bathroom cupboard or medicine cabinet was a bit of a mess. I needed a way to make it a little bit more functional. The principles at work here are once again tiered lazy susans and active versus passive zones. They're kind of interrelated, I think. I can definitely say that this is easier to use. Alright, let's get out of this. Let's get out of this bathtub. Ugh. I love how because this video was shot over like multiple days, my hair has gotten just scragglier and scragglier. I look more unhinged. And this part of the video is also more unhinged. So you may have noticed that I've been dancing around the bingo card and avoiding a certain spot. Fear not, this is the segment where we fix that. The principle at work here is not really a principle, and it's very self-explanatory. Use velvet hangers. Velvet hangers prevent things from slipping off of them, and it's kind of annoying when you're putting things on a hanger and they fall off onto the floor and then you have to put it back onto the hanger. Extra steps, and no one needs that in their life. The thing is, I don't personally like velvet hangers very much. I specifically bought wooden hangers. To me, wooden hangers just feel very luxurious. It feels like you're walking into a department store every time you go into your closet. I like that. However, as a designer, I recognize that velvet hangers solve a problem, and wooden hangers also share that problem. So let's see if we can have the best of both worlds. I got the best of both worlds. This will probably be cut. We're gonna embark on a tangent for just a second, but I promise this makes sense. So I have this Gymshark shirt here. What's nice about it is that it has these little silicone bands along the bottom of it, which prevents it from riding up while you're working out. And I'm pretty sure the silicone band is the same material that caulking is made out of. I figure if this works on fabric, something that moves around, why would it not work on a wooden hanger? We're also going to be redoing the caulking in my shower because it is broken and I've been putting off fixing that for a little while.
Use it to cut the tip off the caulking tube. This is absolutely convenient, but beware, you're not going to get as clean or sharp of an edge.
Alright, I think we're ready to go. Shook. Like, yeah, definitely needed to be redone. This is kind of gross. I have to clean the shower, remove the old caulking down there, and then put new stuff on it. I'm having trouble removing the old caulking. Well, this is fucking gross. So it turns out I'm very bad at caulking. Did you know that caulking tubes can explode if you don't open them? Did you know that opening them isn't just cutting the plasticky thing, but there's also a second plasticky thing inside the first plasticky thing, and if you don't pierce it in some way, I don't even know how you're supposed to do that, then the back of the caulking tube explodes? Did you know that? I did not know that. And now you know that too. Because I'm very determined to finish this train wreck, video, this is clear caulking, it's gonna go on clear. It's gonna clearly make a mess. This one is like a paste and I don't like it. Let me just like spread this. Do you see how badly this spreads? Like, why is it crumbly? Why is it crumbly? Is this the right way to do it? No, it's not. There is no right way to do this. There's no way, this should not be done. This is, just buy velvet hangers. Further trick, you're supposed to use water to smooth this out. I'm gonna do this off camera near the sink. Okay, we're back. The chunkadunks, the chunkady-doos have been smoothed out. This is done. I'm gonna hang it. I will report back. Let's hang this up. No. This video is the most Aries fucking thing ever. Hello, Jonathan from the future here. I've had a little bit more rest and the hangers have had a chance to dry. So we have two hangers here. This one that is a normal hanger, and we have this one that's a hanger with caulking on it. You can definitely tell if you look up close. We're gonna do a little test. This is a hoodie that's notorious for sliding off hangers. So we're gonna try putting it on this normal hanger. I'm just gonna shake it, and as you can see, it's falling off. Now this is the same hoodie on a hanger with the silicone. I'm gonna shake it, and I mean, it's gonna come off, but it's, you know, it's taking longer. So I think it's a win. I'm really happy this worked. After a day of DIY arts and craft disasters, I really needed this win. Now back to down in the dumps, Jonathan from the past. I'm sorry. All right, that's it. That's the video. This has been how to organize your home right, sort of. We made it through the bingo card. The next one will definitely be easier. Leave a comment if you want to support me or mock my DIY fails. Very much up to you. Okay, I need a treat. I need to process this.